Welcome back to another fantastic video. Today we're going to be focusing on the powers of the states and also looking at powers that are prohibited to either the state governments or to the federal government or to both. So, starting off with powers of the states, we know that the 10th Amendment is the states' rights amendment. So, it reserves powers to the states, specifically the states. So, there are certain things that the federal government can't do that the states can. So, the 10th Amendment tells us that powers that aren't delegated to the federal government by the Constitution and not prohibited by the Constitution to the states are reserved to the states or the people. So, sometimes, again, we call this the Reserved Powers Amendment. So an example of a reserved power is going to be something that deals specifically within the state. So like determining what speed limits are going to be within a certain town. That's going to be up to the states, okay? So states also, let me move this up out of the way. States also are responsible for or are given police powers. And these are powers to create laws within the state that promote the general welfare or the safety, health, or whatever of the people of the state, okay? So again, the states can do stuff just for the states as opposed to for everything in the federal government. We also have some concurrent powers, and that word concurrent is going to mean shared. Okay, so think of it like this. If you and I are talking about something and I say, I concur, that means I agree. So the concurrent powers are things that both the states and the federal government can do. Example would be taxing. We know and love this, right? If you have a job and you look at your pay stub, you might see state taxes and federal taxes. Okay, they can both tax. States are also allowed to create courts within the state, and the federal government is allowed to create courts for the United States. So they can both create courts. They can also both pass laws and enforce laws, again, within their jurisdiction. The state of Missouri can't pass a law and force Illinois to follow it. It's only within their jurisdiction, okay? Now we're going to go on to some fun things that states cannot do. States cannot create their own currency. We saw this situation under the Articles of Confederation, and it did not go well, right? States cannot tax a federal agency. We saw that play out in McCulloch v. Maryland, where the state of Maryland tried to tax a federal bank. Can't do it. States cannot create laws that violate the Constitution. So the state of Missouri cannot create a law that says we are all going to practice a specific religion. Can't do it because that would violate the Constitution. States can also not enter into treaties. This is something that we saw states do under the Articles of Confederation. Can you imagine the state of Missouri making a treaty with a foreign country? It'd be crazy. They also cannot establish tariffs, so they cannot place taxes on imported goods. And then some things that the federal government cannot do. The federal government cannot favor one state over another when regulating trade. It's kind of like a parent with children. The parent's not supposed to favor one kid over the other. They also cannot pass ex post facto bills or bills of attainder. And I love discussing ex post facto bills. So an ex post facto bill, ex post facto is Latin and it means after the fact. So Congress or the state government cannot pass a bill or pass a law that makes an act a crime after it was committed. Okay. So if I commit a crime on my birthday on September 10th, it's a crime. But what if I do something on my birthday that's not a crime? And then Congress passes a law the day after my birthday and says what I did was a crime. Can't do it. That's ex post facto or after the fact. States also can't create bills of attainder, which would really punish someone without giving them a trial, telling them what they're accused of, that kind of stuff. Okay? And with that, I will stop. If you have any questions, let me know.